written, and our session will be recorded, and you should get it within a few hours. Takes me a little bit of time to upload it to YouTube, and then I'll send you a link that tells you how to review it if you like.
Okay.
Okay. Now, in terms of the problems that we're going to work on, because I always want the student to bring the problems to the session. I can't really give you problems because I haven't been in your class. I don't know precisely what you're doing. The Pythagorean theorem, I could certainly give you lots of problems on the Pythagorean theorem. I could make them up in my head. But
Okay.
it always works better if you want to send me anything like a recent quiz or review material.
I have a quiz that I haven't taken yet. Well, it's not like a quiz, it's just like a worksheet that I haven't done yet.
Do you have a smartphone?
Yes.
Or actually your iPad probably works. Take a picture of it and send it to that email address. Not my phone number, but that email address.
Okay.
And then I will bring it up on my screen. And incidentally, if you are taking it with an iPhone, attach it as a large file image.
Okay.
Not a small file, but a large file. And then tell me when it says file sent.
All right.
And then I'll start searching my Gmail. And I know I'm not going to get it until it says file sent on your end. And only attach one picture on the first one. Turns out that if you attach multiple pictures, it really extends the amount of time it takes to get to me. So if you attach just one picture, we can work on that.
All right. It doesn't give me an option about the large or small.
Does it say actual size?
It doesn't say anything.
Go ahead and send it. We'll see what it looks like. You'll see because you're looking at my desktop.
Okay, it is sent.
All right, let's open it up. You sure it says file sent or does it say file sending?
It said sent.
There it is. It always takes a few minutes or a second. Okay, it looks like you embedded it, and that actually is going to work okay as long as I can download that file, which I can. And now I can zoom in and zoom out if I need to.
Okay.
All right, so you can see what we're looking at here.
Yeah.
Okay, and then oops, hold on a second. Just a second. Well, I'm not sure what happened here. Let's try that again. In other words, I want to be able to zoom in and out. Okay, that's fine for zooming in. Want to start with the top one?
Sure.
Okay. Let me take a picture of this. Looks like you're getting a little bit of geometry here. This is not all about Pythagorean theorem.
Yeah, it's like Pythagorean theorem and like a bunch of triangles and stuff.
Yeah. Okay. So, and they want you to answer what angle 1 is, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so forth over here on the right.
Yes.
Am I understanding it correctly?
Yeah, you are.
Okay. So first of all, we can't do anything there yet directly. In other words, I know that 1 is the same as 12, and I know that 10 is the same as 11, but I don't know what they are yet. So we need to look at some place on this diagram where they're actually giving us data. Well, I see a 60-degree angle there.
Okay.
Okay. And I see that this line is parallel to that line. And well, let's start with assuming that this is a horizontal line. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So what's angle 4?
30 degrees.
Okay. In other words, on problems like this, what you do is whatever you can do for starters. Okay.
Okay.
Now, let's see what else we can figure out. How about angle 6?
Angle 6. Wouldn't it be 50 degrees?
And because angle 6 is 50, what's angle 2?
Angle 2. Where is?
In other words, this is parallel to this. This is angle 2. So here's where you have parallel lines and a transversal. So 2 has to be the same as?
6.
Which is?
50 degrees.
Okay. Now, let's see what else we can figure out on their diagram. We know that this line is parallel to that line.
Mm-hmm.
So we know angle 1 is what?
Angle 1 is 130.
Okay. And angle 12 is?
130 degrees because they're equal.
And angle 10?
50 degrees.
And angle 11?
50 degrees.
Angle 12 we did. Let's see. What are we missing? Angle 3. Where is angle 3? This one right there. It's angle 13.
13. 130 degrees.
Which makes angle 9.
50 degrees.
Which makes angle 14.
50 degrees.
And 15.
130 degrees.
And 8.
8. 50 degrees.
I'm thinking. Let's see. What else do we know here? We know. Okay, here. Let's look in this little area right here. We know 8 is 50, so what's the vertical angle with 8?
8 is 50. So then wouldn't the vertical angle be 130?
Well, no. In other words, 8, that's 50. And now let's examine this triangle. We know that's 90. So what's angle 3?
40 degrees.
40. They're complementary. Okay. Now we need angle 5. Let's see. The only two we're missing is 5 and 7. Where's 5? 5 is right there, and 7 is right there. So let's see. What do we know about 5? We know 3. Hold on a minute. We know that 5 is the same as J. It's not helpful. Here we go. What's this angle right here?
Where?
Here, let me change colors to blue so I can point it out. This angle right there.
Oh, 60.
And now I have a triangle. There's often many ways you can do these, but this happens to be the one that I notice. That triangle right there, what's this angle right there?
50.
Yep. Now I can figure out angle 5. What's angle 5?
70 degrees.
Right? So if that's 70, that's 70. And 3 is 40, so that's 40. So what's 7?
Also 70 degrees.
And we're done. And that's the way you do these kind of problems, is you can't necessarily always start with 1. We couldn't really figure out anything at 1. What we had to do was go where they gave us certain angles and then kind of work our way around the whole diagram.
Yeah.
This is actually some pretty advanced stuff. What grade are you in?
7th.
What class are you going to take next year?
Algebra. Algebra 1.
I'm glad to hear that because it sounds like you're ready for algebra. I've got geometry students in 10th grade that can't answer that last question.
Oh.
So, again, we have a complicated diagram where we can't immediately figure out Q from the start. So we kind of have to figure out other stuff. So basically the thing is you don't know what other stuff you really need to figure out. They've given us a 60-degree angle, a 40-degree angle, a 70-degree angle, and a bunch of right angles. So let's start there. What's this angle right? Oops, hold on. What looks like angle M? What is that?
Angle M?
M, as in Mary.
Wouldn't it be 30 degrees because 90 plus 60 is 150?
No, I see that you understand this stuff. No, you don't have to explain it. What is angle N, as in Nancy?
$50 degrees?
Yeah. Whereas that's 50 because that's 50. And this angle, you can't really see where I'm pointing. What's that angle right there?
Right there. Hang on. 68 degrees.
Okay. You're going to find that one really good ability in geometry is the ability to subtract a number from 180. 180 is your magic number in geometry. And you get after a while where you can do it without a calculator. And you want to be able to, because you have to do it so often. Okay? So now let's keep going. What's this third angle of that triangle?
Which triangle?
This triangle right here.
$62 degrees.
Okay, what does that make T? We finally found something that we can answer.
118 degrees.
Okay, so that's 118. Now usually what I do here is I just pretty much try to figure out every angle. Let's see. Let me look at this picture a little bit more and see if we actually have to figure out every single angle. How about this angle right here?
Which that one? That would also be 112 because of vertical.
And I'm assuming this 70 applies to this angle.
Yeah, I think so.
So what's the angle that is the linear pair with that?
70 degrees.
Yeah, it makes this one 110. Right? Am I reading it right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Now, okay, this triangle right here. We have enough information that we can name all three angles of that triangle. What's the top one?
30 degrees.
What's the lower left one?
68 degrees.
Which makes the lower right one?
82 degrees.
Which makes P?
Also 82 degrees.
Got it. Oh, that's not one that they're looking for. Okay. If this one is 70, then this one is 70. Now you have enough information for Q. What is Q?
28 degrees, right?
I think so. Let's see, 28. Yep. So that's 28. And notice that that kind of eliminates that from the picture. We don't care about that anymore. There's nothing in there that's of interest. However, we've got R and S and U way down here at the bottom, and that's what we have to figure out. So, well, it might have been wrong. No, let me think for a moment. We should be able to figure out S. First of all, and there's multiple ways. Well, let's see. Hold on. We know that's 62, right?
Yeah.
We need to know this angle right here to figure out S.
Yeah.
So how do we figure out that angle? What's on the other side of P? What's the linear pair with P?
82.
No, yeah, what's the linear pair with 82? It's 98.
Oh, yeah, 98.
Because they have to add to 180.
Yes.
Now we have this figure right here that's a five-sided figure, and we know 4 of the angles. Well, how many angles? Well, what's the sum of all those angles? Need to be in a five-sided polygon.
I don't know.
Well, it's n minus 2 times 180, no matter how many. Notice that if I have a triangle, that becomes 3 minus 2 times 180. That works for a triangle. If I have a quadrilateral, like a rectangle or a square, then I've got 2 times 180, which is 360. Well, this is a five-sided figure. So it becomes 3 times 180, which is 540. And we know 4 of these angles. So that's going to let us find that angle right there. Once we find that angle, we're going to know S. Once we find S, we're going to know U. Once we find S, we're going to know R. So, and I'm not at all sure that this is necessarily the easiest way to do this problem. When you see geometry problems like this, you don't always look for the easiest way. You just kind of look for a way to solve it. And usually that involves just kind of trying to find all unknown angles. Well, I don't need that angle right there, and I knew that immediately. But I do need this pink angle right here. So add up the 4 blue angles and tell me what you get.
Okay. I got 422 for all 4 of them added together.
See, what kind of calculator are you using, Hayden?
Just the one on my phone.
Okay. So 112 plus 98 is 210.
Oh, I didn't see the 98.
That's 320. That's 438. I get 438 when I add them all up.
Okay. So 112 plus. What did you get?
438.
Yeah, that's what I got the second time I did it.
Okay, so subtract 438 from 540, and that gives you that fifth angle.
102 degrees.
Okay, now that tells you S. What is S?
78 degrees. Yeah, 78 degrees.
Now that you know S is 78, you know this one. What is that one?
40 degrees.
And now that you know that that one's 40, what is U?
50 degrees.
Good. Only thing we need is R. Well, we know that's 102, so this one has to be 78. And what does this one become?
32 degrees.
Which makes our
32 degrees.
problem done. Now, the only angles we didn't need to figure out are this one right there and this one up there. That was it. We needed to figure out every other angle in that diagram. So rather than trying to figure out what you don't need to figure out, usually what I do is I just dive in and start figuring out angles, exactly as we did here. And it's rare that you can ever figure out Q immediately. especially looking at both of these problems. You couldn't figure out the first couple immediately on either one of them. You had to figure out other stuff first.
Yeah.
And that's going to be typical. Although I must have, what school do you go to, Hayden?
Falcon Bluffs Middle School.
Where's that? Where do you guys live?
It's over by, it's off of Chatfield.
Okay.
Like,
We got to live fairly close. I live 2 blocks south of Chatfield High School. I'm impressed with the degree of difficulty of your pre-algebra course. You won't
thank
see
you.
this again until mid-geometry, 2 years from now.
That's good.
Well,
I don't like this kind of stuff.
I'm impressed that you're able to handle this. You knew these. And this is my tutoring style. I'm always trying to get you to answer problems. I'm not just going to sit here and lecture and give you the answer straight away. The way a person learns the best is by coming up with the answer on their own. And you did every single one of these. So I can tell you're a good math student.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hayden, let's see. This first session is only a half an hour. Did you want to schedule something? Your mom knows how to do it online. You're always welcome to go online and schedule it. But I can always do it as long as I have you. If you know.
I'll get my mom to do it because I don't really know my soccer schedule
I'm sorry,
entirely.
what?
I'll have my mom do it because
Okay.
my soccer schedule might interfere.
Sounds good. Hayden, nice meeting you, and hope to work
Nice
with you
meeting
further.
you.
The way you close
Okay.
this out is just click on the X in the upper right-hand corner of GoToMeeting, and that'll close it out.
Okay.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.